More than 2,000 years ago, in a quiet corner of the Middle East, a man emerged whose life would forever alter the course of human history. His name was Jesus. To some, he was a teacher. To others, a healer. And to billions across the globe, he is the Son of God. This is the incredible story of Jesus, his miracles, his compassion, and the powerful teachings that continue to inspire humanity to this day. Jesus was born into humble circumstances in the town of Bethlehem. He didn't grow up in a palace or among the powerful elite. Instead, he lived among ordinary people, laborers, fishermen, farmers, widows, and the poor. From the very beginning of his ministry, people sensed something extraordinary about him. When Jesus spoke, crowds would gather from all over. His words carried a unique blend of wisdom, authority, and hope that resonated deep within their hearts. But it wasn't just his words that captivated them. It was his power. The accounts of Jesus' life are filled with miracles that left witnesses completely astonished. He healed the sick when doctors had given up all hope. He restored sight to the blind. He made the lame walk again. One day, a man suffering from leprosy, an illness that forced people into complete isolation, approached him. Instead of turning away in fear, Jesus reached out and touched him. In that simple, compassionate moment, the man was made whole. Another time, a group of determined friends lowered a paralyzed man through the roof of a crowded house, just so he could be near Jesus. Filled with compassion, Jesus looked at him and said, "Rise, take up your mat, and walk." And to the amazement of everyone present, the man stood up and walked. These miracles were not mere displays of supernatural power. They were profound acts of compassion. Jesus was showing the world that God cares deeply about human suffering and desires to bring healing and restoration. But perhaps the most enduring impact of Jesus lies not just in his miracles, but in his teachings. He spoke about love, mercy, humility, and justice in a way no one had before. He taught people to love their neighbors as themselves, to forgive their enemies, and to care for those who were suffering. Jesus often challenged the established religious leaders of his time, pointing out the hypocrisy in their practices. He warned that true faith isn't about accumulating power, status, or wealth. Instead, it's about genuine compassion and actively helping those in need. In the ancient scriptures, practices like the tithes were deeply connected to caring for the most vulnerable members of society, the poor, widows, and orphans. These offerings were often food and provisions meant to support those who couldn't care for themselves. Jesus consistently emphasized this spirit of generosity and mercy. He reminded people over and over that true devotion to God is demonstrated through love and kindness toward others. This message raised a critical question then, and it continues to raise questions today. Why do some religious leaders seem more focused on power or wealth than on helping the vulnerable? Jesus repeatedly warned against hypocrisy, the act of saying one thing while doing another. His message was clear and simple. Faith without compassion is empty. For Jesus, caring for the sick, feeding the hungry, and protecting widows and orphans was at the very heart of God's will. It wasn't an optional extra. It was the core of what it meant to live a life of faith. The influence of Jesus spread far beyond the dusty roads and small villages where he walked. His teachings transcended borders, cultures, and centuries. Today, billions of people continue to read his words, reflect on his life, and find inspiration in his example. Whether through his astonishing miracles, his courage to challenge injustice, or his unwavering message of love and mercy, Jesus left a mark on humanity that has never faded. His story is a timeless reminder that true greatness isn't found in power or riches, but in compassion, humility, and selfless service to others. The life of Jesus continues to inspire people from all walks of life to care for one another, to seek justice for the oppressed, and to live with more love in their hearts. And perhaps the most powerful question his life leaves us with is this: how can each of us bring more compassion and kindness into the world today? If you enjoyed this documentary and want to explore more fascinating stories that have shaped our world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like and share it with others who might find it meaningful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.